Hey folks, welcome back to my shed and welcome to episode 4 of my 2015-2016 trapping season. Hope you enjoyed the first few videos I made and hope you enjoy what's coming up in this one. Coming up, I'm going to be taking you out into my line, showing you some of my set locations for cats, and then we'll do a segment on some of my catch videos, what I've been able to catch. I got a few of the things I caught on video, and then I'll come back to the shed here and show you some of my furs and some of the stuff I'm learning as I go through the season. Some lessons are really hard to learn. I learned one really tough one, and I got a couple other tips, some tips about cable restraints and stuff and other things. So I hope you enjoy the video coming up, and if you got any comments, suggestions, tips, whatever, feel free to leave them. Alright, let's go out in the line and see what's happening. Hey folks, how's it going? It is December the 19th, and this is our first day of cat and fisher season in Pennsylvania. Our fisher season is really quick. We got like 5 check days maybe. But I'm just going to show you one of my locations I plan on setting. I got an old trail coming down through here, like an old logging road, 4-wheeler trail. I plan on putting a cubby set over in these pines over there. Maybe a dirt hole here, and then what I got going on over here, right behind that set, there's an old creek that runs down through here, and this is one of the best crossing places that I could find. So this is why I'm gonna set this heavily, because we don't have a long season here. We can catch one fisher, one cat, as long as we got permits, and we got an old beaver dam here. So this is one of the best crossing areas we got down here. The landowner has told me he's got pictures of both bobcats and fishers down in this area. So I'm going to set this up fairly heavily and hope for the best. So I'm going to put another cubby type set on the other side of this old beaver dam here somewhere. Alright, just show you what I got going on here. Here's one of my cubbies that I built. I don't know if it's too unnatural looking, and I don't know if I'm too concealed here or too tight for cats. I'm not sure, but I'm just right off of that old road I showed you that's right over here. The predominant wind direction would blow to that road, so hoping I'm doing stuff right here. Got a bunch of stuff built up here. We can't have any exposed bait visible by air in Pennsylvania, so, and I don't have any beaver carcasses, but I had some old coon carcasses. I got one wired up under here pretty good, and I'm gonna get my drag set up here. Got my number 2 bridger. I'm going to try to pin this down here and try to force him to step on the pan here. Alright, here's what I got going on here, folks. Got an old stump here. This is the clump of trees that I videoed from the other side of that beaver dam. This is the best crossing area right here that I could find. So, never trapped a cat before, never trapped a fisher before, but this is one of my set locations. Across there is where I showed you the cubby set I made up under some pine trees. I also stuck a dirt hole in over there. My brother said if there's cats here, set heavy, so I'm trying to set heavy. Up there, that's all marshy, difficult to cross, and I think I got the best crossing area here. There's an old game commission bird box there too. So there's my set, traps right there. And I put some stepping stuff. I'm trying to get the step directly on the pan. So, and my coon is buried up underneath that stump. We can't have anything visible from the air. So that's my set. Hope it works, and I hope I get to show you a cat. Alright, it's Christmas morning. I don't have a Christmas present yet in my trap, but I just got to show you this. Earlier in the year, I caught a coyote right over here, and I'll show you that set again in a minute. But right here is an old dirt hole that's been pounded with rain. But there's coyote tracks right there, the jaw of my trap, one step right on the jaw of my trap, I think. The pan is right there. He missed it. I hope you can see that. I mean, he missed it by a 1/4 inch. But there's tracks there. There's also a deer track over there, but there's a they're here. That's all I know. And then over here where I caught one before, these sticks right here, they were just moved around. There's a track right here. Don't know if it's very visible. And then there's one right there. So they're back here. They're working the sets. I just relured them and rebaited. So a lot of rain. Cable restraint season starts tomorrow. But still at it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Christmas morning. My wife and kid, they're still sleeping. Hey folks, how's it going? It's December the 26th, and this is the first day of cable restraint season in Pennsylvania. We're allowed to start setting cable restraints. This is highly regulated though. We can't have any entanglements. We have to have deer stops, and we can't have any entanglements whatsoever. Basically, our animals are alive when we catch them. So those of you that can snare, I envy you a little bit, but I'm just happy that we can do this. This is one of the types of location that I will set for gray fox. I'm not going to show setting up a coyote set or anything, but pretty much the same. This area is really thick cover, and yeah, coyote could come through here. Anything can happen, but I'm going to set this for gray fox. I'll make my loops nice and small, and once I get my stake driven in, you don't need to see me pounding my stake. I'll just show you what I do to brush it in and stuff. This is just a little thick patch of goldenrod that has a nice trail going through it. It'll be easy to force something to walk through through a cable. If a gray fox does come through here, I don't know if you can see how defined that trail is, but it's pretty defined when you're standing here, especially down at ground level where the fox would go through. So I'll put one on this end and one on that end. I'll set at least 2 cables here, and there's another trail right over here that I might stick one right on this end. I'm not sure. I might. So be back in a minute. Okay, I got my stake driven in here, wolfang anchor. For gray fox and red fox, I use 7x7 cable. The 1x19 cable is a lot stiffer, and never caught a coyote in a cable restraint, but supposedly the 1x19 is a lot harder to shoot through and stuff. But for reds and grays, I'm just using the 7x7. I got my number 9 support wire stuck in here. Got a small, very small tree here. We're allowed to have anything under ½ an inch by here, and this is only about not even a ¼ inch. That'll work as a good guide here. I'll put some more guides over here, and I'm just going to get this done here. Basically, got a little anchoring point that sticks on your number 9 wire. Got a locking device. Has to be a relaxing lock. At least this year they put what types of lock we're allowed to use. The last couple of years we weren't sure if we could use micro locks and all that stuff, but dang, that baby wants to shut quick. I got my snare 2 loaded. Well, not snare, cable restraint. Now for grays, if you never set these before, make your loops small if you know you're targeting grays. That's one thing I learned last year. I made like an 8-inch, about a 6-inch loop last year, and made 2 catches around the hips. So I like a smaller loop for grays. This is about maybe 5 inches. My fist can just go through here. It's about 6 inches off the ground. Hopefully the gray will travel through here. You want no scent here. This is the exact opposite of trying to set footholds where you're trying to get something to come to your set. You just want it traveling the way it normally travels. This snare is a little light colored here. I don't know if that shows up good on camera. I wish I had a darker snare here for this type of stuff, but oh well, we'll see what happens. And I walk right up my trails when I do this. They're going to smell you. They're going to know you were here. So from what I've read, I think it's better to just leave your trail the whole way. If they come down along the trail and the first thing they hit is just a pile of human scent, they're going to stop and start investigating. My brother and I had a bunch of refusals a couple years ago, and I'm wondering if that's what it was from. I haven't caught a ton of animals in the cables, but caught a few. So I'm going to try this out this year, just moving on down the trail, setting my cable, move down the trail. Hopefully they get used to my scent. They're going to smell you, they're going to know you were there. So I think the object is to not just have one little pool of scent right where your cable is, so they stop and start investigating stuff. So I'm going to block this in a little bit right here, grab a couple pieces of goldenrod. Just to help guide him into that loop. Close this off a little bit. About 50 degrees here. It'd be better if we had some snow and stuff, but there we go. Put a little stick down here, try to make him lift his chin up into the cable itself. That thing really wants to go close. And that's about it, folks. Hopefully they'll come along here natural, go through there, and get themselves tangled up here. On down the line we go. Hopefully I got a couple catches and cables. And here's my first red fox of the year. It's early in the morning and it's been raining. Got him in a 1 3/4 bridgers. I caught a skunk yesterday and I got it skinned out. My first time I ever skinned a skunk. I didn't get any pictures of it in the trap. But got a dirt hole here. Over here I got a flat set. And I caught a possum in it, but I definitely got to get back here and remake this set tonight. Got a nice red fox here. Finally, oh, this is, I think it's pretty nice when it's furred out. It's December the 23rd, and it's awesome. I got to get going though. Wish it was daylight and stuff. Hopefully this is coming through on video, but I got to take care of this fox. I'll probably come back here tonight and remake this set. Well, the animals have definitely been moving last night. This is my second red of the day. I have a story to tell about the first red, but I can't even believe I caught a second red fox. It's crazy. I got to dispatch this. I'm going to be late for work probably, but oh man, this is something. Really something. I'm excited. Dirt hole here, flat set over there. And last year I caught a coyote and a gray fox right in this area, so I got to dispatch this thing and get out of here. I'm stoked. This is awesome. I was coming up here today to remake sets. It has been raining and raining and raining and raining. And I looked up here and first I thought it was a deer. Then it wasn't moving. And there's the fourth catch in this same set. 2 gray fox, 1 raccoon, and big old eastern coyote. Typical color. I haven't caught a coyote for a while. This is my 3rd coyote of the year. I'm hoping that he's not completely rubbed up. Got him in a number 2 bridger. I'll try to get a close-up of him here, of his foot. I think the male, he's got it all stinked up. Awesome. You can see that number 2 bridger did a really nice job on him. Yeah, without a doubt, this is my best set I've caught. 2 gray fox here, and a nice raccoon, and now I got I think it's a pretty decent coyote. I'm just hoping he's not all rubbed up on his back there. But I'm really excited. The Bridger number 2, that's the second coyote I've gotten the Bridger number 2s. So they work well. If you're looking at the Bridger number 2s, looks like he might have bent the pins a little wee bit, but it's got a perfect catch on him. I'm going to dispatch this coyote, and I'll remake this set, definitely. And I got 2 other sets behind me that I'm going to remake here, because we got some cool stuff coming in, but this is awesome. Welcome back here to my shed. Here's the coyote I caught this morning. Wasn't really expecting to catch a coyote in this location. It was really set up for gray fox. It was really tight cover and everything, but hey, I'll take it. It's my 3rd coyote of the year, and male, a little dark colored. I know that the lighter the better right now with the auction houses, but I'll take it. Any coyote out of the woods is good in my opinion. So I'll get it skinned out here, maybe show you once I get it up on the stretcher. Thanks for watching. Well, I finally caught my first fox in a cable restraint. The only thing I've caught in cable restraint so far has been, I caught 4 cats right down there, and a couple of them were feral. However, I finally caught a fox in a cable restraint. So I'm gonna get in here and get this guy dispatched. There was just a little trail coming through here, connecting this field to this field. I caught a red fox right over there in a dirt hole earlier in the season, and this is my first canine in a cable restraint finally, and it finally worked out. So looks like a nice one. I gotta sneak through here. The only thing with cable restraints is they get a lot of room to play around here. So I'm gonna get this guy dispatched, and I'll give you you can see the catch circle here. It's humongous. Got a good catch on him right around the neck, just the way it should be. I don't know if you can see directly behind him is the trail that came through here. Now it's pretty much destroyed, and we can't have anything. I could reset back there if we didn't have entanglement laws, but we do, so it is what it is. So nice little gray fox. Get him to the shed today. Alright, here's the gray fox I caught in cable restraint today. It's a pretty nice fox, really. I think it's a lot nicer than the ones I caught earlier in the year, the gray fox anyways. So I'll be getting him skinned out, fleshed out. Actually, I said him. I think it's actually a female. So, but got real nice fur, well furred out. One thing about cable restraint season, when it starts up, the fur is really nice on the animals. It's way nicer than the ones I caught back in early November. So getting to work on this girl pretty soon here. Hey folks, well that ends the section on the line for this time. Now I'm going to just take you around the shed, show you some of my furs and some of the stuff I'm learning as I go through this trapping season. The first thing I've learned is just because you catch an animal later in the season doesn't mean the fur is going to be nicer. I assumed that this is the coyote I caught just a few days ago, and I thought that the fur was going to be really nice on it. I don't know if the thing has some little bit of mange sitting in or what, but this is a coyote I caught early in the season. If you can feel this fur, it's way nicer. This fur is way nicer. And this coyote is bigger, but it's just not nice fur, so don't just assume you're going to have a nicer furred animal later in the year. That's what I thought I was going to have, but I didn't. Another thing is, I might have mentioned this before, is the removal of ear cartilage. Once you skin out a canine, these are pulled out here. These are done here. This gray fox, you can see it's inside out here. You can see pull the ear cartilage off. It comes out easy, and one of the reasons I do it is because I read in the NAFA magazine that one of the big complaints about from fur graders about canines is that people don't remove the ear cartilage. So it comes out easily. Yank it out and be done with it. It's not that bad to do. So that's another thing I'm learning. Over here, the absolute toughest lesson that I've learned so far is that you never assume anything on the line. I was in a hurry, caught 2 red fox one morning. If you watch my video, I think I got both of those on video. I don't get every animal on video, but I get most of them. But there's only 1 red fox hanging there. I thought that I had dispatched one and heard a thumping in the back of my truck. Went and looked in the back of my truck. Red fox was gone. So I caught 2, only have 1 in the shed. Make absolutely sure that things are dispatched. There might be other trappers that are shaking their head. Yeah, I've had it happen to me. I talked to several other trappers that have lost animals, and it's just a lesson that you don't want to learn through experience. Just take it from me. Make sure things are dispatched. Another thing I learned is that skinning skunks isn't all that bad. I wanted to skin one out so I get it tan and hang it on the wall. This skunk had real nice stripes on it. It's stretched a little crooked. I know that, but I'm just going to send it off to get it tanned anyways, hang it on my wall. It's got real nice stripes on it and stuff. They're easy, probably the easiest thing I've ever skinned and fleshed. Skinned real easy, fleshed off real nice, easy. I just had to wash it off a little bit with some baking soda and peroxide. I catch another one, I'll be skinning every skunk I get from now on. I want to learn how to get the essence out of them and be able to use that. So there's a few tips. Don't assume anything. Try to skin your skunks, and don't just think that because you caught some animal late in the season that it's going to be super prime and super nice. Okay, another tip I have is that if you do use cable restraints, you'll know that once you use one, you catch an animal in it, they get kinked up, and they're one-time use only. That's the cable portion. The other parts that are still on there, your breakaway device, your relaxing lock, and your swivels and everything, they're still there. And you have all the components to make a new cable restraint. All you need is a pair of cable cutters. Don't try to cut this stuff with just regular wire cutters. You need a pair of actual cable cutters. And you need some stops. You get some stops. The micro stops right here to stop the cable from closing too far. We have to have a stop at 8 inches, and then we have to have a stop at 38 inches, so it can't open too wide. It can't shut completely, and it can't open too wide in Pennsylvania. You need that. You got everything that's still on there. You got your support collar for attaching to your number 9 wire. Everything's there. You cut the old cable off. You can use that to make new cable earth anchors, or I don't know, whatever else you want to make out of the cable. There's some good chunks of cable left there. Buy yourself a spool of cable. I think 500 feet of cable might cost 25 bucks. Buy 1,000 feet, might be $40. It wasn't that much, so I got a big spool of cable to make new cable restraints. The one thing I did that I also figured out, I don't know if it's just me, but when I make my cable restraints, I use 7x7 cable for fox, because I can get a better loop on it, and I can load the cable better with 7x7, make a nice smaller loop for fox. I tried it with the 1x19. It's a lot stiffer, and I don't know if it's just me, but I can't get a nice small loop with it. But they make a nice 8 to 10 inch, well, about a 10 to 12 inch loop for the for setting for coyotes and stuff. So don't throw away your old cable restraints. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you got any good cat trappers out there watching, if you looked at my cat sets and you got any tips or opinions for me, still haven't caught a cat. I got 1 week left. I'm still hard at it. I'm going to keep up till, I think our season ends somewhere late February, so I'm going to keep pounding at it. All cat season, it only lasts till the 10th of January, so I got 1 week left of that. Got a few other weeks left of trying to catch canines though. So hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to get 1 or 2 more out rest of this season. So, all right.